Just taking a couple of deep breaths as we begin. We're going to ground before we begin the class now. We are today at City College, San Francisco, and this is our Wednesday class. So welcome. Couple more deep breaths. You want to start the breath at the belly and bring it up all the way through the rib cage to the collarbones, and then release it down. We're starting with the idea of a three-part breath today. This is called Dirgha Swasam breath. It's from yoga, Hatha Yoga, and I love this breath. You're coming from the belly, the rib cage, and the upper chest. The collarbones rise. The shoulders don't necessarily rise, and you exhale back down. The idea is to start with a really long spine, as if the crown of the head were at the back of the skull, and connect all your vertebrae. The cervical vertebrae, which run down the neck, the thoracic region of our spine, and the front body, the rib cage area and the middle spine, and the area below that, the abdomen, where all your abdominal organs, reproductive organs, everything else is there. So this is a very important area, and it's our low dantian, or energy center. As you come up, you're coming through all three energy centers for Tai Chi. And they are, the low one is at the abdomen, the middle one is at the heart and lungs, and the top one is at the head. So in this slow three-part breath, which is also similar to our first move in Tai Chi Chih, except we're moving our feet, this is very similar to what we're doing. We're starting the breath at the core area here and bringing it up towards the head right now, our highest dantian, and then bringing it down. And we're not quite at rocking motion yet, but you could add a figure 8. If you did that, you would be taking breath from the earth. And on the exhale, you would be descending down with that breath very slowly towards that low dantian, and then returning the 8 all the way up the other way. And you can add that in when we get to rocking motion. So that's a nice way to start your posture. And also you could also do this as Tadasana. This is our mountain pose in Hatha Yoga. The palms are open. You extend through the whole spine. You lift as if the crown of your head were lifted by a string up towards the heavens, this back here. And you're going to also feel the length of the body all the way down to the feet. And when you extend up, this is really important for us to be able to feel that extension, and then feel the extension release as you send the energy back down. So one more of those. Simple breaths, three-part breaths, and feeling the grounding. And feel the tailbone in right back here. Because when you take a breath at the energy C for Tai Chi Chih, right here at the tummy, there'll be expansion at that abdominal area, and there'll be contraction as the belly moves in and the energy moves towards the low spine, what we call the Ming Men area. So inhale with me, as if you were extending your tummy out, which you probably are, and exhale back to the low spine. And notice with your long spine and your mountain pose that you've done a lot for your posture, your alignment, and you add the breath and you really have something. So that might be a good way for us to begin, just to ground first, and then to move into our triple burner. Qigong. Once again, bringing that energy through all three areas, your high dantian, your head, your middle dantian, your heart and lungs. Feel that exhale moving down through it, and your low dantian at the abdomen. You're breathing into your nostrils and you're breathing into your belly. It's one thing. The energy moves from the low spine up to the high spine, cervical spine of the neck, and back down. That's the back body. What about the front body? It moves through the abdomen, rib cage, upper chest, and through the face. Feel that energy as you come down with the palms outside of your face, but it's affecting your whole body. Qi is a form of energy, like prana in yoga. They're the same thing. They're just two different but very connected disciplines, yoga and Tai Chi. The slower we go, the more we can feel from the inside out what's happening. We want, in Tai Chi Chih, a sense of inner awareness, not just moving forward and back, but bringing something really unique with it, that slowness, continuity, moving from the center, and the feeling of grounding that we get from slow practices like this one, Tai Chi Chih, 19 movements and one pose. Let's shake it out for a moment. That's good. Let it go, because when you're moving slowly, sometimes it's hard to let go of our excess energy. And that's also a Qigong move right there. We're going to then work from triple burner to Buddha picks up the earth. So palms are now up. The shoulders are relatively unraised here because you're inhaling from the abdomen. Exhaling down, and Buddha picks up the earth. And this would be an inhale through the center body or central meridian. And then you're going to turn the palms over and exhale, sending it up into the sky. Every environmentalist's dream. Change it, make it better, send the world up on your exhale. One more. And use your peripheral vision to watch it go. And let's take one more really, really slowly. Ready? Palms turn up. Watch it go. Exhale slowly down. Beautiful. All right. From there, we're going to do the accordion. The palms are just outside the breasts. You're going to inhale to expand at the rib cage and exhale to contract. 3 times. Last one. Can you feel your lateral expansion? I think that's really, really exciting right there. Exhale it down. So from there, we'll go into picking up a feather and letting it go. And we're now already into weight shifting side to side. So shifting over here, release the opposite leg, extend through that side of the body and this one, and come back. And enjoy the movement. Feel this inhale here. Maybe watch it go with your feather and bring the feather down. And one more. Picking up a feather and letting it go with a side-to-side weight shift. And our next will be to do the fountain. So this is a forward bending pose first we're going to start with. So let's practice that. Place your thumbs on your hip bones and fold forward with a flat back from the hips. Good. And now round the back and release. And if you are able to touch just beyond your toes, do. If not, don't worry about it. Inhale back up, slowly. Open the palms out. And this is the fountain. Now you're going to make the backs of the palms touch each other almost. Sink down on the exhale. And inhale up. And open like you're the fountain. There's lots of water spurting out. Inhale here. And now exhale slowly as you bend over from the hips and then really rounding the back. And one more, really slowly feeling the breath connection to this movement. We're not in any hurry when we do meditation practices. They really all come from the heart. And when they connect to our bodies, we should begin to feel joy, not pain. So if you feel any pain today, change it, modify it, sit on a chair, watch it, whatever. But we're just getting ready to go here, getting all our joints relaxed. So in that aspect, let's release the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And you're making circles with your fingers, connecting to the shoulders, the elbows. You're inhaling here and letting the shoulder blades roll down the back on the exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. And then going the opposite direction. Up, back, forward and down. Opening the chest and then making it smaller. Because every time you exhale, there's something happening that's contracting. So here you're exhaling. Here you're opening on the inhale. Opening the chest. They're very important to be able to go both ways. So if shoulders don't want to both work for you, you can just do one. Many people just do one and then do the opposite one. Or sometimes the other one doesn't work, so they have to go really super slow. Okay, shake it out again. Particularly, let's shake the fingers right now and the lower arms. Good. Now we're going to bring our elbows close to the body and we'll be circling from the elbow to the fingers. And you might want to see, are the fingers making a circle on each side? Sometimes one side wants to do it, the other side does not. These are forward circles. Try back circles, like you're swimming on your back. And see if you're still making circles with those hands. Good. Now, when you bring the elbows close to the body, it's easy to do a more isolated circle with the wrists. So that's something to try, just going like this. And maybe you can go faster or you want to go slower. Just change it up. Or just go slow, because we're just really releasing the joints. And then we'll go into a Tai Chi Chuan type of practice, which is called knocking at the gates. And this is to release any tension that you may have, somewhat aerobic here, but the idea is to touch your back body as you turn here. And I'm releasing my heel each time so that I don't torque my ankle or my knee. Knee, ankle, and hips always need to be able to move together. Good. Now we're going to come up the body towards the kidney area here. And you might be able to touch your back area there, only if it's comfortable for you. And then moving up to your chest. These are points in the chest, right under the shoulders there, that stimulate the lungs. Good. You don't want to ever hit yourself too hard, but a little bit doesn't hurt. Okay, and then head rolls. Let's go back to the top of the body, bringing your chin down to the chest, and your right ear will be right over your shoulder as you turn. Maybe a half circle, clasping your hands behind your back, and a half circle back to the center, and an inhale over here to the other ear and the other shoulder. The upside down rainbow. And then if this is comfortable for you and you'd like to do a full circle, you can come back to the center and then come over to this right side and around. And if coming around and bringing your head back is bad for you, bring up your shoulders and use the shoulders up as a cradle for that back movement of the circle. If you've got it and it's working and you don't have to do that, you can release the shoulders and try the other side. Right and around, left and around. Left ear to left shoulder, either half circle or a full circle. And this is very, very healthy for the head and neck. You might feel a little bit of click, click, clicks. If you do, you can always stop. All right, then we're going to take the head, which is the chin is directly over the ground here or over your floor. And you're going to just bring it over towards your right side, keeping the chin level and fairly close to the body so that you're not sticking out the chin too far. And just use your finger there as a means of pivot. Inhale, center, exhale to the other side. Come back to center. Good. Let's shake it out once more. My students outside love to shake it out because it's been really cold lately. So you can also tap down the insides of the legs, tap down or up the outsides of the legs. The inside is supposed to be yin and the outside is supposed to be yang. So we want to hit both sides gently. Come to your buttocks, tap that. Come up right here to the kidney area and just circle around the Ming Men area, around your tailbone and low back area. I like to make gentle fists here and circle. Use your core muscles here so that our tummies don't stick out too much. So inhale and use your core. And then go the opposite direction. Shake it out. Good. We're going to do hip circles next. So dropping down, you're in rider and horse position, which is as if you had a small horse underneath you, and your feet are out sort of in a V here. You're going to drop down. This is called sinking. The knees don't go beyond the big toe on each side, but your feet are out in a V. Okay. Once you find that, and you have this long spine through here, it's like you're sitting on a bus stool. You're not back. You're right there. Just a little drop of the knees. And that's really all we ever do in this practice. Once you've got it, you're going to maybe bring your feet in a little bit. Forward, side, back, side. We're doing hip rolls. Front, side, back, side. And they're very, very slow because we're connecting the low back with the hips here. So you want to be careful. A lot of people have major issues in that area. And as I've said before, just modify things or don't do them. Okay. Now we're going to go back front. We're going to go left this time. Front to your left, back, side. And once you have it and you prefer to go faster and make a full circle, be my guest. You can go all the way around, but still feel those 4 points when you make that circle. And we're now moving the circle towards the left. Let's move it towards the right. And of course, when I'm doing my left, it's your right. So if I get mixed up, I'll probably get mixed up before you do. Okay, now bring the knees together, lengthen through the spine. Once again, this is the rising part. This is the sinking part. And now you're going to bring the feet apart a little bit and then bring them back together, out, together. And then when you come down here, you're going to bend forward from the hips with a flat back to take hold of your knees. And then circle towards your right, front, side, back, the same way you did with the hips. So you hit all the points in your circle, but it's a very slow circle. And now you're going to go the opposite direction. You're probably back now with those knees a little bit. Now you're going to go side, front, side, back, side, front, side, back. Okay, now go the opposite way. I assume that's to your right, front, side, back. But if it isn't, just do whatever you didn't do last time. And then lengthen through the whole leg area and lengthen enough to feel that the legs become straight, but not locked. You want to make sure that there's always a little bend in them. And then come down all the way down your shins, touch your ankles if that's possible. Come up very slowly through the same area, up through your thighs, up through your upper body. Bring the arms overhead and lengthen. The star is you. So you have 4 points of the star here. You're going to come into the cactus. So dropping down, a little bit of sinking here. And then bring your body forward and just touch the floor. Come back up slowly. Breathing in to the star and then to the cactus. Slight bending of the knees. Make sure you can still see your toes. And then bending forward, coming into we're going to work into another pose. So one more inhale up. The star, the cactus, and now lion's roar. So when you get to the lion's roar, look down, stick your tongue out, open the mouth and make a like that, okay? And then you can go all the way and you can wiggle the back tail of the lion. Up to you. Ready? Star, cactus, lion's roar. And to come down for the lion and just wiggle the tail a little bit. Good. Inhale back up. One more of these. The star, the cactus, lion's roar, looking down. And then bending over, careful with this, and then wiggle the lion's tail. You've touched the floor with your palms, just the way you did with the fountain pose we did in Qigong. Okay, come up slowly on your inhale and release. Very good. I think we're ready to start T'ai Chi Chih. And I think we've hit all the important things here. Let's do one more thing, okay, if you don't mind. Let's do a really slow Buddhist walk from your right side to your left. So starting with your grounding, with your horse underneath you, and this is the rider on horse position, shift towards your right leg today and release the left heel forward, straight leg, yin leg, yang leg back here. Yang is the bent leg, yin is the straight leg. Now start sending the energy into the front leg, it becomes yang or masculine. Then release the yin leg, it's straight and back now. Let it go forward. Your right heel will come forward and feel the energy come through the whole foot. the heel, the center of the foot, and the front of the foot. And then it's not really a push off, but it almost feels like that. Allow the other foot, the left foot, to come forward slowly, heel, center of the foot, front of the foot. This is one of the best exercises for learning how the weight shift works. Now slowly turn around. You started on the other side with your right foot. And we're going to once again ground first, which will look like this. Ground. So inhale, ground. Now put your thumbs on your hips and shift over to the right leg. We're going to start with the left this time. So release that left heel. There's no weight in this leg when it's straight like this. And then send the weight into that foot, the heel, the center of the foot, the front of the foot. When that happens, you feel the body want to go forward. Then the right heel comes down, center of the foot, front of the foot. Release it. And you can, if you release too late, you're going to do what just I did. I was ready to fall over. So don't go so slowly, you're going to fall over. But this is a great way to practice your weight shift. Let's take a moment to hydrate before we begin T'ai Chi Chih. I hope you have your water nearby. It's really essential to be able to hydrate when you're doing this practice. We're going to begin the 19 movements in one pose with rocking motion. Rocking motion involves sinking, rising, and in this middle of it, when you go forward like this, you're coming to the front of the feet, the heels rise. When you come back, the toes rise. So that front back also involves a certain amount of sinking and rising. There's a sinking in the middle and a rising at both ends. And that's why it's rocking, like a rocking chair. And when you rock forward to the front of the foot, the heels rise. When you go back towards the back of the foot, the toes rise. Normally we inhale forward and exhale back. So you can inhale towards me and exhale back. Okay, rocking motion also has a movement with the hands. As you come down, that's an exhale. As you come up, this is an inhale. So that actually helps you realize where the inhale is. And the inhale, of course, is as important as the exhale, because without the inhale, you can't exhale. I know that's obvious, but a lot of people forget to breathe. Inhaling, coming forward and up. Releasing the heels. Exhaling, coming back. The toes rise. Feel that sense of the rocking chair in your movement. Forward, back, up, down, weight shift. With the figure 8 sort of endemic to it, because you're bringing energy up from earth here towards heaven, turning it over to exhale it towards the earth, just like we breathe. It's recycling. Rocking motion. One more of rocking motion. Prepare for our grounding here. Inhaling towards the heart, our middle dantian, turning the palms over to exhale towards our low dantian. And let's double ground it, so we'll do that again. Grounding is about the most important thing we can do for the senior body, particularly. We need time to just rest. So let's rest here on globes of energy for a moment. And then we'll go to our first forward back weight shift. Once you get the side to side down, it really helps you so that you can start with the front foot. That will be starting from the yin leg. So we're shifting over here to the right side for you. And once we get there, this leg has more weight in it than the other opposite one, right? Now you're going to release that heel forward. And it's yin. There's just the heel that dropped, but all the weight is still in the back primarily. And that's important because now you're going to shift forward, taking that weight to the front foot, and shift back, sending the energy back on the exhale through this circle of energy around the platter is what it's called, and it's in chest high water, which means kind of at your sternum area, right here. So if you're doing this for the first time today, probably sitting is going to be easier for you because we're moving very slowly. But make sure you center your buttocks on your chair, probably towards the front of your chair, and that your feet can touch the floor. You want to make sure that you're grounded even in your chair. Three more on this side. Feel the levelness of your platter as you're in chest high water, and your fingers are probably just touching whatever height that water is. You're right at it. Last one. Bring the foot back in, your left foot. Inhale to sink it through the earth. You'll always start with your left foot, so that's something important for front back weight shifting. You're going to shift subtly towards your left foot now and bring your right heel forward around the platter right side. Moving out in chest high water. Feel the inhale towards me and the exhale away from me. That way you'll get a glide through the middle. When both feet are, at least for about half a mini second, they're on the floor together in the middle. Because that's right over what we call our very important acupressure point there. The bubbling well or spring is just behind the ball of the foot. When you go over it, you can almost feel something happen there energetically. So you want to feel all those points of the foot. Last one of around the platter on your right side leads us to a double grounding. And this particular around the platter move leads us right to around the platter variation, where you start right at the sternum with your fingers. You send your energy towards the right leg first, releasing the left. Pick up a ball of energy at your left shoulder and then let it drop right opposite your heart and lungs on the exhale. Sending the exhale towards the back foot. So inhale towards me and exhale back towards the wall behind you or the window. I'm going to move back so we're all together. You can see my feet. Notice how when you go forward, the heel begins to rise when you get there. When you go back and you get there, the toe rises in front. So there's a glide through the center as you inhale here, and a glide back as you exhale, and the toes finally release. The two extremities of that weight shift have a feeling of automatically releasing the heel or the toe. So that only happens when you glide through and then release. And then glide forward on your inhale and release the heel after you get there, after you get grounded in front. Or grounded in back. Then the toes rise. Last one of around the platter variation on your left side. Bring the left foot in. Inhale to ground that energy through the earth of that one side, and then shift the energy towards that side over here to release your right heel, straight leg, only the heel's dropped. Most of the weight now, we say this would be 80% weight here and maybe 20, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 on the front here, because there's not much there at all. It's just it's a straight leg, but without locking it. Around the platter, right side. Feel the inhale as you pick up this ball. And the exhale as you drop its center. Still in the middle of a circle, right? There's where the drop is, middle of the circle in front, and the circle continues all the way around to your body. Three more. If you need to alter the length of your weight shift, you can always do it when the yin leg is looser. So I just released my front leg back a little bit when it got yin because it was too long. Weight shift was too long. You can feel your balance and change these things. It's important for your own body to do so. And last one, we'll say that's it. Around the platter variation. And I believe we're still warming up the body until I get to the daughters. So we're now going to our next movement, which is bass drum. This also tends to be a building of the chi through here, because all you're doing is you're coming forward and back with the palms facing each other and never retreating from being together. Bass drum. So I just want to say something about that. Let's ground it a minute. So bass drum, you have the palms facing each other, and there are Legong points between these palms. So as you come down and exhale here possibly and inhale up the rim of it, they're connected all the way. And when the palms move back with the elbows, that chi enters your whole body. You're embracing yourself with this chi of the drum. The energy, as a matter of fact, is, if you've done a lot of Reiki or energy practices, it's something that you can't really describe. It's only felt. But there's a sense of energy bathing the body as you do this drum. And especially when you're weight shifting, you're adding another element. So I just wanted to point that out, because all these things work together, and we call that synchronicity in T'ai Chi Chih. So dropping down, shifting towards your right side. This leg becomes yan. This is ready to move. It's already lighter than the other leg. Release it forward and begin your bass drum. Inhaling forward on the forward weight shift, gliding through the center. Exhaling back towards your back wall. Inhale towards me. And shift and glide away from me. Good. That gives you, on Zoom, the sense of the long shift forward and the long shift back. Because you're gliding through the middle. And here's your inhale. It's been described as touching the rim of a drum that's almost like velvet. A good image for remembering that the chi, once it gets into the body, goes to the extremities of the fingers and toes. So if you think about it, you can imagine that and bring it there. Three more. On your left side. Watch your spine. If it starts to drop, lengthen again. Good. Let's sink that through the earth. Inhale. And let it go. Almost like sleepwalking here. Such a slow relaxation response right through there on that exhale. And then shift towards your left to release your right. For bass drum, same thing. Inhale to begin and then start exhaling and then inhale around the drum. I suppose it could be a drum of rum, but it's not. It's a bass drum for instrument. Feel the inhale here and the exhale back. Three more. Last one. Beautiful. You should really by now feel like you're breathing into the full body. I hope you do. Has great benefits if you can begin to feel the fullness of the breath without effort. And that helps to bring the connection to the movement and the mind and the breath that we need for this mind, body, spirit practice. Now we rest on globes of energy. We're almost fully warmed up, but we have these two wonderful moves next. Daughter on the mountaintop and daughter in the valley. Daughter on the mountaintop will start in this rest position, and you'll bring the arms up here, and like you're going to go up a mountain on the inhale. You'll cross your left palm behind the other palm like this, so that the wrists are crossed. You'll exhale all the way down with the fingertips up. That's cutting the circles in half. Two circles of energy, with your left hand, the inside one that's near the heart, and the outside hand is someone else, or perhaps even a community that you work with. Inhaling and exhaling. Anything you want to connect to is right here. Two circles connecting at the heart. At the same time, it seems to be an image for climbing mountains. So as you come up here, this might be two mountains, and the inside might be, when you come down, it might be a central trail. So it depends on how your mind what images it wants in a particular day. Then the other one that follows it is daughter in the valley. And you'll start at the top of the mountains this time, right above the shoulders, maybe out a little bit, because you're going to cross down those mountains. And you're going to come in through the center on the inhale. And the palms are said to be maximizing polarity here. So there's a connection between them energetically. And then they seem to open up like a heart shape. So think of it almost like a Valentine. Inhale. And then over the tops of the mountain, finish your Valentine. And so this is daughter in the valley. You can think of it as a central valley, and then mountains on either side. And when you get up there, you go, wow, this is amazing. And then you come back down. Or you can just let it go. It's just imagery sometimes helps people understand what these movements might have been when they first originated, maybe 5,000 years ago. Okay, part of Qigong practice and Tai Chi Chih is under the umbrella of Qigong. Ready for daughter on the mountaintop? We first shift right to bring the left forward. Then we start out here, elbows close to the body, but not touching. We come to the tops of the mountains. We exhale down through the center trail, and the left hand is close to the heart. Since this is a slow meditation practice, Tai Chi Chih, that would be reason enough to have the left hand, which is closer to the heart on the left side, there. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Glide. Use your core to expand and slowly contract. Three more. Last one on your left. Of daughter on the mountaintop, single grounding. Shifting towards your left to release the right. Daughter on the mountaintop, right side. We'll begin. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Three more. We're doing 9 on a side. 9 is the noble Chinese numerology number. Last one. Bring that foot back in. Inhale to ground it through the earth, and we'll double ground. Beautiful. I love the way you're bringing the palms down so slowly. It's great. All right. Our next move is daughter in the valley. Starting here, shift towards the right, release your left heel, and start inhaling forward through the valley and over the mountains as you shift back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Feeling the chi in one beautiful, graceful circle that seems to be in the shape of a heart. Circularity is when you're just doing lots of circles, and this is all lots of circles in this practice. And last one. On your left, release the foot back. Inhale to sink the energy into the ground and to shift towards your left, releasing your right, starting on the mountains that are on either side of the central trail. Exhale down and inhale through the central trail. And look at the tops of the mountains, from the tops down to the low valley here. Notice how evenly we're moving together now. There's a certain kind of inner rhythm that starts to take place right in these companion moves. And last one. Daughter on the mountaintop is said to come to a graceful conclusion. Sink it through the earth. Double ground it. Inhale again. And exhale down slowly. We now prepare to go into a side-to-side weight shift, which is called carry the ball to the side. You'll be winding up once we start over there with picking up a ball like the one we had before in round the platter variation. And this time it'll be right opposite this right shoulder for you. And you'll bring out your left heel and you'll be circling this ball on the weight shift that's happening with your feet 3 times. Then you bring in the yin leg, the straight leg that's behind, and you sink to ground. Okay, so it's 3 times 3 move, but we start over here on the right. You need about 5 feet, but you can always make it smaller, or if you don't get there, you can always start going back. Winding up, releasing the left heel, yin leg, yang leg, and moving to change the yin leg into yang 3 times. Then inhale that back foot, the yin leg, sink to ground briefly, wind up again, prepare your left heel out, and then start moving once you're ready and you've grounded fully on that right leg first. So ground here, stay here, make sure this leg is grounded, wind up, release this yin leg, and now start moving. So we want to really feel the change of weight shift. And exhale. We'll go back the other way. Winding up, releasing the heel, and then moving. You might want to check your tailbone in from the inside out, right? Make sure that it's really into the spine here so that you have a long spine. So when you drop down, you're not sticking your buttocks out. And that'll keep your back in a pretty good position lengthwise. Let's do one more this way. And we'll go back. Really slowly this time. And last one. And sink it through the earth. Let's double ground it. Feel the length of your spine, and then feel the release of your knees slightly here. Let's do one more grounding. We want to have kind of spongy knees, right? And never locking the legs when they become straight. Beautiful. Our next two moves are called push-pull and pulling in the energy. So coming to the center of wherever you start. And with these moves, we start here at the chest. We inhale first, then exhale down through a circle here. Without locking the elbows, fingertips start to come up. And then you turn the palms around to return the energy to you. So this would be the exhale forward. When you reach this point, you're ready to come back, and that would be the inhale back. So this is in opposition of the other front-back weight shifts, because we're actually exhaling forward and inhaling back rather than inhaling forward and exhaling back. Okay, here we go. Push-pull. First shifting towards your right, releasing your left heel. Inhaling first before you begin. Palms are right opposite the shoulders here. And we're going to go down with this circle and inhale back, bringing the circle back to the heart. As you start back, that's when the fingertips come back with you. Right here. Inhaling that circle back will actually make things different, because I love the sense of inhaling back to myself here. It's also called giving and receiving energy. So give this energy out in a circle and then take it back in. Just like they say, the gift is more for the giver than for the person who gets it. Yeah, take it back. And that's the essence of giving and receiving energy. You always get something back from it. It's wonderful. Positive energy is great stuff. Two more. Last one. Very nice. Return the foot, draw it back. Your left foot comes back. You exhale through the earth here. Ground it briefly. Let's double ground it. It's fairly energetic because it's got that exhale forward. And now we're going to shift it towards your left side, your weight shift, and prepare the right foot for the same pose. Push, pull, or giving and receiving energy starts with an inhale and then starts with an exhale. Forward and an inhale back. I think I haven't said today that your forward leg is straight forward from that hip. Your back foot is a little bit out so that the heels don't cross, but it's in a 45-degree angle to the front leg. So that helps you ground back there. And it's a basic principle that is also in Hatha Yoga for the warrior poses. The back foot 45-degree angle is solidly there when we come back through all 3 points of the foot. And it's solidly here when you come forward to the 3 points of the foot. Avoiding pronation. See if you can connect from the hip. And then inhale back. Giving and receiving energy. Always with a sense of the technique that allows us to go there, right? Yeah, technique helps us not fall over. It's really good for our balance. And last one. Push-pull comes to a graceful conclusion here. Foot comes back in, you inhale in your rider on horse position, and exhale back down. One more. Double ground it. So now we're moving into pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe. We shift to the right leg, release the left, and we go forward, pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe through the fingertips. And it feels like you're kind of moving through a dream at this point. So keep the mind awake, but not thinking about anything else but doing this. Breathing, moving, relaxing the mind. Bringing in the energy from the farthest star through the fingertips is also a visualization. Last one on your left. Inhale the leg back, sink it down through the ground as you inhale first and then sink it. Shift towards your left. Release your right heel. Yin leg is forward, yang leg is back. And now inhale forward and change that. Pulling in the energy in a circle from the farthest star in the universe. Feel that circle as it inhales forward and sends the energy back to the back foot, across the body, across the brain. From your right brain on the inhale to your left brain on the exhale. Last one here. Let's inhale it, sink it through the earth, double ground it. Our next moves will be the taffies. So we'll take a moment to hydrate here because they're quite energetic, but slow. Returning to your mountain pose for a moment. Feeling the breath, maybe closing your eyes temporarily for a second, if that's comfortable for you. And just breathing into the soft body with a soft breath. And then we begin our taffies. So with the taffies, your right hand will start coming underneath the elbow here. The left hand will be above. This is also called the heart protector move in Qigong. And as the palms separate, there's a sense of energy of the top hand coming down and the bottom hand going up. So that's kind of important. And you'll find that as you do it on each side, over a period of time, you really feel that energy moving through there. It's also called moving through heavy air. In the center, as the palms pull apart. And when you add your weight shift to it, it's pretty cool feeling of basic taffy pulling. Okay, here we go. Basic taffy. The hand underneath is said to be the invite hand. So it just invited us to go to the left. And now it's going to invite us to go to the right because the right hand is underneath. For you. Notice how you automatically pull in the yin leg when you get fully grounded over here. And then you sink it through the earth. And start again. And there's sinking and rising involved because you sink now here to ground, then you pull the taffy with the same position. And as you inhale, the body extends. Important elements from Qigong. And this practice of Tai Chi Chih is under the umbrella of Qigong. So we find all these little wonderful things embedded in this practice. Good. You're all feeling the sinking and rising now. That's great. Last pairing here. This move to the right, and then we'll move back to the left. Bring the foot in, inhale to ground. Our first variation is like a boat and an anchor image. And this is anchor taffy. So your right leg will be anchored. It's the anchor. Your left foot will move the boat forward. And you're going to do this taffy here with your left hand underneath. Open. The invite hand says we're going to open here. And then we're going to do a side-to-side weight shift that we get from basic taffy. So this is the first variation. The variation is in the fact that we're doing this taffy forward. And then to the side after we ground. And now change hands to go forward and feet. Lengthen to inhale, sink to exhale. Anchor taffy, first variation of basic taffy. And last one of anchor taffy. Forward, left hand under. Inhale to ground it. And to the side. Beautiful. Double grounded. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to sink. Just release the knees a little bit. Feet are in a V still. One more double grounding. And we move right into the center of wherever you do your practice for circles, taffy. We circle 1, 2 times. We wind up, left hand comes across, comes underneath the elbow, and we pull the taffy back this way. And in there, there's a rising and sinking. So it's a little complex. Okay, circles, taffy. Feet in a V here, but a little bit open. Sink and rise. Sink and rise. Sink, left hand under right elbow, and pull the taffy to the left. Now sink for a moment, inhale to rise, and then move. Wind up here on the third one of the circles. Pull the taffy, right hand under. That moves you to the right. Inhale to rise and then sink. Then rise again on inhaling, because you're going to sink to exhale here. Left hand under, moving to the left. We'll do 2 more. Moving to the right next. Right hand under. Last one. Beautiful, really nice. All right, our next one is called Perpetual Motion Taffy with Heel Step. And this will be interesting here because you bring your left hand under the right elbow. You're ready to go with your taffy, but it's got a heel step. So once you get shifted over here and your left heel moves out and you pull the taffy, then the other heel comes up and you pull the other hand under, your right hand under, and move to the right. And then you wait to get fully grounded over here before you lift the opposite heel. Okay, should we do it? So this is a perpetual motion taffy, meaning you could do this any number of times. And here we go with heel step. Heel comes off, the foot is flexed, and then the heel drops first, and you move the energy to the toes, and then you drop the other leg and feel that. You can feel when it gets there. The energy moves to the front of the foot here, and then it's time to lift the other foot. Energetically, it all makes sense after a while. It's all about grounding and breathing. from the energy sea at the same time. Long spine. And moving through all 3 points of each foot as we do this, so that we actually cover the bubbling spring of this foot, and we cover the bubbling spring of the other foot, and then the other foot lifts. That bubbling spring that we talk about is the central acupressure point. It sends energy all the way up your body. So a pose like this is really important for connecting to that. Fairly strong grounding move. 2 more. Nice. Good. Okay. Let's inhale and double ground this one. That's the last of the taffies. It has 3 variations of the basic. The last one is so beautiful. Okay. And now we move to a cross body move called working the pulley. One hand will be, your right hand will be under the hip here, hip bone. It'll come back and then come forward. And there's sort of circular movement in it as that palm comes up. It moves forward and then it comes back. So we were talking the other day about making it more circular. And you can decide what you want to do with this, but basically it's forward, under, and then forward, under. Okay, so this one's going to lead. Your left hand will lead, and your left foot, that'll be first. So let's ground it and start with the right foot. Sorry, left hand and the left foot, and then the right hand will follow like the companion move it is. And you move across the body. On Zoom, we've talked about just touching each other's shoulder with energy. Not literally, of course, but energetically, you can send that energy out into Zoom to anyone you see across there on the other screen. Exhaling forward with its dominant hand, and then inhaling back through the hip. Whatever side is forward, in this case, it's your left, is going to dominate the breath. Exhale. Inhale back, pulling the hip back. That's it. Last one on your left. Same thing on the right. The right hand will come forward. The left hand will be under the hip. And now you begin working the pulley on your right side. A cross body move. You might feel like I do that the back foot wants to swivel on the front of it, and the front foot wants to swivel on the back of it, just like the connection of your forward back weight shift, where the toes rise, then the heel rises, right? So this time you're using the ball of the foot in the back to swivel on, and the front, you're swiveling on your heel. It's interesting. And it keeps the knee, the hip, and the ankle connected so that you really can't, hopefully, torque anything, push it the wrong way, right? Keep it together. Last one on your right. Inhale, just sink it through the earth. As we move towards the end of our practice, let's double ground that one. We're moving into light at the top of the head. This is coming to the highest dantian, where all our thoughts, words, and actions are. It's called light at the top of the head, light at the temple. Feet are in a V, like this. Sink and rise. Coming to the crown of the head, the back of the skull with your light. Palms look like that. Inhale and sink. Exhale. Rise. Sink. Rise. Sink. Rise. Inhale. Come back to center here. Hold the energy. Now circle the palms forward, but the fingertips are up. 6 to 9 times. Hold the energy on the inhale here, lengthen through the spine, and sink and rise. Letting it go into the out here towards the heavens, and then exhaling down towards the earth in a big circle. Then bring your left hand close to the heart on the inhale. Sink the energy down through the central meridian. Light at the temple is next, and your head is your temple. Sink and rise, feet in a V. Let it go, that beautiful light that you have of who you are. And then hold that energy away from your head, but close to your soul, so to speak, and then circle it 6 to 9 times. Inhale here and sink and rise and send it out. Your light from the temple of who you are. And into the earth, and your left hand will come back to the heart on the inhale. Down through the central meridian as you prepare for joyous breath, which is next, our most yan move. So when you come down with your palms on this, after inhaling as much as you can, and coming to the balls of your feet, really feel the energy of this. And there's been instruction that we only get the feet down after the third one. So you can do this if you'd like to, but it's hard for me. I want to just really make it energetic and yawn, masculine. So, but the idea is that you exhale down twice from the extended position up, and then on the third one you bring the heels down. Okay, here we go. Joyous breath. Inhale. Rise here, and now begin to sink, but without dropping the heels. Now drop. Second cycle to 4. Inhale a lot of energy. And come up to the toes or to the balls of the feet. The toes would be too much. Okay, I did 4 that time, but let's come down on 3. Good. That's the last one. Inhale and release all that energy slowly into the earth, returning to more of a passive state here as we move into passing clouds. All things change. Feet are in a V, and they stay on the earth pretty much here. Raising your right hand, your left hand is facing down. Feet are apart in a big V. Passing clouds, pass over that right hand, and then return your left to brush the elbow. And now your right hand is the mirror hand, and now your left hand, as it seems to go past your face like a mirror. In some practices, you follow the mirror hand. In this T'ai Chi Chih practice, we were told to just look forward with a soft gaze because it's a meditation practice. Outside, I can't do that, but here, yes. Outside, as a naturalist or a good Taoist, you want to see nature. This was a way of life for people. observing and then imitating natural happenings like passing clouds. And last one. Bring that foot back in. Inhale to release. Double ground it. And our next moves are the 6 healing sounds of Ho, Hu, Tsu. Shi, Shi, Chui. Ho for the heart. Hu for the spleen or digestion. Tsu for the liver on your right side. Shi for the lungs. Shi for the triple heater, those 3 energy centers. And Chui for the kidneys. The most important part of Chinese medicine, healing sounds, is not the heart, it's the kidneys. So heart's important, it starts first. Chui has the last word. Left hand, left foot. Ho. Ho. Tsu. Shi. Shi. Chui. Now just aspirate it. Last one. Five chuis for the kidneys. Add the heel step. Turn the palms over. Circle all the energies of yin and yang, all the opposites that come together in this practice in a sense of equity. And then bringing your left heel to your right ankle bone for cosmic consciousness pose, a big circle, maybe for the world. Bringing your left hand close to the heart, evening out your elbows, both sides, lengthening through the spine, bringing in your tailbone, using your core to hold you up and feeling the grounding into the feet, looking over the window of eternity and through it as you open the fingers. Interlocking the fingers in gratitude for 5,000 years of Qigong, 6 centuries of Tai Chi Chuan, many types of Tai Chi, and the work of Wen Shan Wang in 1974 and before with Justin Stone, who put together this beautiful Tai Chi Chih, 19 movements and 1 pose in 1974. His first book. So thank you so much for coming.